have memories of many of our schoolmates. My first encounter with tragedy, with death, was with Bob Kelly. And I think now about Bobby Millsap and all of the other people who have died. So, you know, it's added to the fabric of my life. And so, 40-odd years later, here I stand before you. And you know, when I was writing this, it occurred to me, you people, I've known you people longer than my husband or my children. I've known you longer than just about any of my, well, more than any of my present colleagues or anything like that. So, you know, you're really very important people to me. I'd also like to add the little prayer that we, like our mascot, the El Burro, as my Spanish students say, would all keep plodding along, crossing the desert sands of time, and, of course, stopping at a few watering holes along the way. Okay? Thank you.
Nancy, thank you so much. You kind of leave a rough act to follow. That was beautiful, sweetheart. We all love you too. As history goes, we all have our leaders that rise out of history. South America had Bolivar, is that his name? And Bolivar, yeah, something like that.
Simon Watch too, did it?
United States, we had George Washington, and of course, all right, Libby. No, what did you say? No, I don't want to hear it. Anyway, the United States had George Washington as their first leader, so at Burroughs High, we were fortunate to, being a new school, we all had to have our first student body president. And coming all the way from Carson City, Nevada, Lamar Washington Harrigan.
My first recollection really was going down to the administration building and catching a bus to some place called Trona. And there was a Navy guy who was the driver of the bus. There was a gal named Liz Richmond, who I think some of you may know. Myself and another gal I can't remember. First day at school, the first fellow I met was a guy named Maxwell Rafferty in Trona. And we chose the mascot. My recollection that it was between the coyote. We were going to be the Burroughs Coyotes or the Burroughs Burroughs. At any rate, it's nice to be here and appreciate the invitation. Thank you.
I remember that Trona game at the station gym, and poor old Lamar was blessed with bad knees, and there he was running up and down that old basketball court with those darn braces on, and he played his heart out. I didn't know that was why you were trying to win, but now we know. I'll tell another anecdote about him. I remember one time after one of the ball games, I walked into the locker room and there was Lamar stretched out on one of the benches in severe pain with his braces. They took him over the dispensary, and the next day he told me, I said, how did it come out? And he says, well, all the doctor could say was take an aspirin and be brave. Remember that? Okay, one last speaker, and then I'll open it up to the floor to anyone who might have to say anything. Our founding father for reunions, or founding mothers for reunions. Anne, will you get up here?
See, I had to take my glasses off. I usually don't use my glasses. I drink straight from the bottle. Well, when I was teaching, I gave a test once and said, tell me a little bit about what you know about Socrates. And the kid said, he was a Greek, he talked a lot, they poisoned him. We all have Bill, we all have here and I spilled all the pictures that go with it. Would you come, please? Oh. This is from all of us to you. And we thank you so much. And Donna, too. Just a little something from all of us.
That's enough.
These guys hugged and kisses when I was 17.
You just look in the right places. Thank you so much, Ann. I love presents. Well, thank you, Ann. It says, thanks, Burroughs.
Burroughs. Hey, listen, I can only get 18 letters.
Burroughs reunion, October '92. Okay, it's got a little pad in here to write on. I'll
Pictures.
treasure this
Pictures
forever. Thank you, Ann. I really-
Pictures go in it.
Oh, pictures go in.
Right.
Okay, that's better yet. That's better yet. Thank you. Okay, that kind of ends it, in case anybody wants to get up here and tell a little story about someone in the past or an anecdote or something. The only thing that really sticks out in my mind in the years gone by was 1945, the first sports year we had. We played basketball. We didn't do very well. I remember dribbling down the court with no one in sight, and I'd go in for a lay-in and I'd miss the damn thing or something. Remember Lamar? Dee has a story to tell.
My first memory after arriving at China Lake was the Christmas ball in the station gym with crepe paper draped basketball hoops, sitting in bleachers in our formals, wearing our raincoats over our formals, and I thought, what a change from proms today where there's a limo, a chauffeur, tuxedos, and dinner at Chasen's after the prom. My, how we've changed.
Another gal here tonight that couldn't make the last reunion because of a severe fight with a chronic illness. Barbara, would you stand up? I remember the thing about Barbara is the last thing, I don't know, how should I know? Jane has a story.
Well, I didn't remember all the details of this story until Dee, so Dee was supposed to tell it, because she was talking about it tonight. But we had a slumber party up at Dee Dee Switzer's house. She wasn't supposed to have one. We all snuck in the backyard. So she snuck out, and we decided that we would kind of check out up on the hill, and there were new houses being built. So we were all in our pajamas, and we went running around all these new houses. And the security police came along, patrolling. And next thing we know, there's spotlights flashing and going all over. We're jumping over bushes and fences, and I mean, we were really moving. Well, Dee and I guess Sue, managed to go really fast, so we didn't get caught. But Pat McKenzie and Hattie Warner and Joyce, yeah, she has all the details. I don't want you to tell you. Joyce Lackey. Anyway, they were caught, and they were taken to the security office. So anyway, Dee Dee had to go in, wake up her father, who was commanding officer at the base, of course, and say, Dad, can you help us? This is what we did, and there's 3 of them down there. So anyway, I guess he called up down at the guard station and said who he was, and said, I believe you have 3 of my house gifts. And they said, oh yes, we'll bring them right home. So anyway, they delivered him back to the house. That was the end of the story.
Anybody remember Carl Mayhew?
We could probably go on all night. Okay, gang, well, thanks again for making this all possible. It couldn't have been possible without all of you. So, cheers. We're going to turn on some of that good music again and dim the lights and do a little dancing. Okay? Thank you.